Welcome to another installment of Daily Alchemy. Solarah here. It is Tuesday, February the 20th, and I hope you guys are all doing wonderfully today. The title for today's article is the full moon in Virgo opening an extraction vortex? And before I begin, a very big thank you to Demi Peachel of the Starfire codes, who actually activated some of this information in me and helped me to also make sense of some of the things I was picking up by sharing with me some of the things that she was seeing too. So I do cite Demi in the article later on, but I wanted to, even before I begin, give her a shout out and a thank you. Okay, so here we go. Energies of newness and possibility abound and are swirling all around. What feels like stagnancy and stopping is due to the buildup in pressure as these energies wait on you to decide how you will direct them for your own expansion and promotion of beauty. As you become more comfortable in the magicalness of you, your external reality has no choice but to line up. You are entering a season where much you gave to others will now be returning to you in beautiful and surprising ways. Many of you gave while you yourselves were struggling and in deficit. You may have done this from a place of following your purpose and path, as well as tuning into your ability to love others because you truly were and are able to see yourself in all. There is no longer a situation or person you can look at and not see yourself in. You have mastered or are mastering the ability to see both your beauty and flaws in the everyday situations that transpire internally and in the company of others. There is no body or circumstance above or below you. You are getting that all is a reflection of your internal experience as a holographic being. You are also getting better at drawing lines of differentiation between where you and others begin and end. You are graduating out of another layer of codependent patterning where you may have put too much or too little emphasis on yourself in the way others act and the decisions they make as a result. Welcome to this up level. In this place, you know how to shine, truly shine. It takes real guts to know how to perfect the art of this level of independence. The Matrix teaches us to shine by engaging in various acts of competition that always contributes to the diminishment of others or an other. It is only our reunion to Source and our ability to heal back into a state where we are able to reconnect to that infinite flow, where we can once again learn how to stand alone and shine. This feels like the award ceremony following the exam that was the full moon in Leo. As we get closer to this weekend's full moon in Virgo, we are recuperating parts of our inner child lost to too many cycles of trauma, pain, betrayal, and rejection. The collapse of those timelines since that last full moon has given us new materials to build with for as long as we didn't choose to invest in the old stories and timelines. We may not be aware of how much we actually transmuted and ultimately walked away from in this last intense energy corridor, but it feels like we're gearing up to see our report cards unveiled to us as we begin to recuperate things we may have felt were lost for good. I see love coming back to life from deserted wastelands and newness springing forth in places discarded as being infertile and desolate. On Sunday night, my daughter and I were both surprised by a howling, screeching bird sound that was emanating loudly outside my bedroom window. I'm quite familiar with all the local avian life in my neighborhood, and this was a sound like none other I have ever encountered. I told my daughter that it sounded like a screech owl, in spite of my having never heard one before, not that I can recall in this lifetime at least. As soon as the words and idea left my mouth, I felt the strong presence of Lilith howling through the night skies, refusing to be silenced anymore or have her story twisted and distorted by folklores designed to decimate the power of the dark feminine. The dark feminine energy has been speaking loudly to me over the past few days, especially this past weekend. I spoke on her return yesterday in my Word for Your Week with Solarah for my Substack patrons. The dark feminine is the holder of the cosmic womb, where all comes into existence and where all must return to for extinction. She connects to us through our own wombs as women and through our sacral and third eye chakras collectively. The matrix had to blot out her strength and our knowledge of this truth in order to keep their toxic cycles ever going and looping. Is it possible that her energy came through so loudly because the collapsed timelines we refused to pick up are going back to the voidedness of her womb for extinction and recycling? Is this what the strong breaking of Saturnian cycles was also indicating in this weekend's energies too? These distortions are now being given the opportunity to go to their final resting place for as long as we're ready to let them die. Some people ascribe Virgo energy to being virginal, but I always see the sign as being deeply connected to the expression of the Divine Mother on the zodiac wheel. The Virgin Mary, the one who brought forth the Christ and light of the world, or the return of Kundalini, is yet another face of this Virgo energy. Is it possible that we have been purposely misled in what this word virgin is actually speaking of in relation to both? Could virgin be another way of speaking of the womb as a void? In this way, we see how it is both a giver and taker of life. Could this also be why Virgo and Scorpio pretty much have the same glyph? They are therefore, then, both signs of the zodiac, which assist in the death and rebirth cycles. If I am right about this, then this full moon in Virgo is acting like an extraction vortex, clearing us of the timelines and stories that we are choosing to no longer give life to. In so doing, we are permitting this lunar energy to be a taker and reaper, much like the character on the Virgo card, the Hermit. What is interesting about this full moon is that it is occurring at a degree that is represented by the 8 of Pentacles in the tarot. The 7 and 8 of Pentacles are the two cards of the minor arcana that speak of sowing and reaping. It feels like we are entering a season where we are being given back what we've sown. All the matrix timeline fuckery and karmic loops prevented and delayed the true proper balancing of karma as defined by universal laws. A grand rebalancing is occurring as we move into a new astrological year and deeper towards eclipse season, which will be kicked off by the first lunation of the year, the full moon in Virgo. There will be no more malefic Saturnian spells that can overwrite the cosmological balance that supports true sowing and reaping. In other words, there is no more room for others to offload their karma through the matrix magic systems. All will get in accordance with their true soul and cosmological value. I've been engaged in the conversation with Demi Peachel of the Starfire codes about the prevalence of storm themes she noticed arising in the present energies. Demi was also inspired by observations that testimona of Memento Mori Alchemy had raised in a recent article. I wonder now if the womb as void, vortex, reaper, and taker of life in the balancing of scales is what we're all picking up on in different ways. We each have our own way of discerning the energies of this time, and yet we are all honing in on similar themes, stories, and possibilities. Please follow and engage with the work of these two beautiful souls on Substack if you don't already, as we all seem to be holding parts of this cosmic puzzle that is longing to be expressed. And I am grateful to them both for the soul wisdom they're bringing in the unraveling of these energies too. I will put all their information in the description box below if you're joining me through YouTube. In closing, all I know is what I feel. And right now it feels like energies of newness and possibility abound and are swirling all around. It feels like Pisces season has opened a door to a vortex where entrance into a totally new and elevated reality is possible for as long as we surrender the old stories and their accompanying energies to the void or the vortex. Ashe. For access to all of my articles and installments in full, please make sure to check me out on Substack at dailyalchemy.substack.com. For all of you who choose to become monthly or annual patrons, you will have continual access to these articles as they are published, as well as to the full archive of all my articles, decrees, as well as my works of nonfiction and poetry. Every month, my patrons also get the opportunity to connect with me in a group Q&A via video link. So if you feel that that would be helpful on your healing and ascension journey, please make sure to check me out on dailyalchemy.substack.com. Wishing you guys all a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day.